welcome to another episode of Roll or Die. So I believe we're known as bringing the OGs into people's worlds on our podcast. We also like to bring the up and comers and the people to watch out for, and that's who we have for you today. His name's Rudolph. He's a brown belt from Perth, trains with the B team. If you don't know who he is yet, you soon will. He got a silver at brown belt at the 2022 No-Gi Worlds, bronze at the last year's ADCC trials, beating some pretty big names. I think he beat, let me just see, who was it? Who did you beat in the...
So I beat my first couple matches. I'm not really sure who they were, but my bronze medal match was Declan Moody.
That's right, Declan Moody. And then
the
you only just... Did you go against Bob Freyas as well in the final?
Yeah, that was a very entertaining match.
Yeah, so two really high-level black belts to get a bronze medal at the ADCC trials. So look out for him at this year's ADCC trials. And yeah, welcome, Rudolph. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So what weight division do you compete at? You don't look like a small guy. You look like you've got some meat on the bones there.
Yeah, I've been bulking up ever since Worlds. So now I'm like 92 kilos, and I'm just gonna keep going for a bit, and then I'll cut down right before trials to 88.
Okay, so you're gonna go with that division again, yeah? Because at the last trials, you were a little bit under. Was that right? You were about 79, 80, but you went into 88.
Yeah, I was gonna do the 77 division, but then I made like a last minute switch like 2 weeks beforehand to do 88, and I was like 82 kilos for trials. So yeah, I was really for that one.
Wow. Yep. How did you find that impacted like A, your mindset, but B, your actual performance? Like does it really matter at that level, or does it not matter?
I definitely do think it matters, but what I enjoyed most was just being able to eat whatever I want as well.
Yeah.
But no, like I was still like a couple kilos too heavy as well. 2 weeks before trials, so I was like, fuck, I don't think I'm gonna make 77 as well.
Yeah. And another thing too, I forgot to point out, your dad is your coach.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
So him and I started around the same time in 2009 here in Perth. And he just knows my game like the best, and like for some reason when he's cornering me, like I just get that extra push to go a lot harder in competitions.
So hang on, you're 22 years old, so 2009, just trying to figure that out here. You were pretty young. You started as a kid, yeah?
Yeah, I was about 8 when I started.
Yeah.
Cool. Has your dad made it to black belt yet?
No, I think I'm going to beat him.
I'm fascinated by that. Like the older person develop, like two people who start at the same time, father and son, and I see it quite often actually. But the development pathways will be different things they can do physically, but different learning styles, etc. I am fascinated for you to talk a bit more about that, if you don't mind, about the journey of you versus your father. I think that's interesting stuff.
Yeah. So we started jitsu in Perth for a couple of years, and I was doing really well in like the competitions as a kid. And then after that, we kind of all moved, like my whole family moved to Thailand, and we went to train at Phuket top team in Phuket. The reason we moved there was just because it was a lot cheaper for us, and like we can live easier as well. But yeah, my dad works away a lot as well. He works up in the mines, so it's hard for him to get like really good training. So he would fly in Thailand like whenever he's got time off. But I was just training at an MMA gym for maybe 3-4 years when I was like 9 to 12. But that was a bit rough because I was like the only kid, and it was just fully grown men.
Was that MMA like sparring and all, or just doing jiu-jitsu?
Mainly just jiu-jitsu and a bit of Muay Thai as well.
Okay, yeah. So you were the little kid in there, like this 10-year-old kid in like the adults class.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Really annoying the adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. but then after that, I was like really young, so I didn't really enjoy rolling with all the adults. I just found it too hard because they were just all using their strength on me. So I kind of got bored of it and didn't really do it as much for like a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
But then that wasn't until I moved to the East Coast and Sunshine Coast, back to Australia. And I started training at gym called an Infinity with Yoshi. He owns now. But yeah, I started training with him for a couple of years, and that got me back like for my competition age back. Yeah, so I trained there for a couple of years, and then I went back to Thailand for like 2 years, I think. And I was like 14, 15 by then, so I was finally like getting size now, building strength, so it wasn't as hard against adults anymore.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was training for, I think, Abu Dhabi Worlds, Junior Abu Dhabi Worlds. I went to Bali like on the way to Abu Dhabi, and my parents really loved it there. So on the way to like Abu Dhabi, once I finished competing there, which I ended up getting second at as well, I believe, we then decided to move to Bali from Thailand, and that's when we started training at Bali MMA up until I was 17, 18. Yeah, and then 17, I started first coming to Absolute MMA, which that was a big game changer. That room was just a different level for me because I'd never experienced something like that before.
Wow.
And
Wow, it's quite a nomadic lifestyle you've had. I mean, in 22 years, you've already been living in, however many countries and however many different cities.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's it's definitely been nice growing up, like traveling as well, seeing a bunch of different cultures as well.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, I'm jealous.
Was it at Absolute that you then met Craig, and that's what got you into the B team, or how did that happen?
Yeah, so I first met Craig in 2017, and then he had a Thailand camp, I'm pretty sure, that year as well. So I went to, I think it was his first one ever. So I went to that one, and there was like a small ADCC comp in Singapore. It wasn't a trials or anything, it was just an open. So I trained there for that, which I think I got second at as well. I get a lot of seconds, so.
That's why you're in the B team, is that's what they're known for. Sorry, everyone. Go on. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so trained for a competition for that, and then after that, yeah, that's pretty much how I met Craig. And then start of 2022, I messaged Craig saying, "Is it okay for me to come to B team?" And he said, "Yeah, it's all good." And then now it's just kind of gone from there to this point now.
Wow. I'm fascinated to also know about camps. I don't think I've ever done an actual jiu-jitsu camp. Kim probably has, because there's A-gig camps and those sorts of things. But like, I always get invited to these camps, and it's like, that's a big commitment to me. It's like I gotta abandon everything else and do a camp. I would love to do it, but what's the development like at a camp? Like, how do you do you go into it and you come out of it with a different game? Like, because you've immersed yourself in something? Is it life altering fork in the road type stuff, or is it just lots of jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I've definitely found every time I've gone to BT, my game's changed quite a bit. Like, usually I go in there with like a plan to just like work my wrestling or like work my guard passing a lot. But then sometimes it'll come out differently from what I expected. Like, because I watch a lot of instructionals while I'm there, but then because there's so many wrestlers there that I end up just not really needing them. And like I like to train with Joseph Chen a lot in at B team as well, because the way his brain works is just, I don't know how, that's crazy.
I understand.
And so it sounds like, because of you've traveled a lot, like your dad is your coach, but would you say you're probably more or equally self-taught? Like, you've had to sort of take responsibility for your own learning, the way things have gone, that you've moved around so much?
Yeah, I definitely would say I would be self-taught a lot. That's why like I do find I need to go to B team or absolute and gyms like that, just to kind of get the extra help as well, or different opinions that I didn't really see beforehand.
Yeah.
Do you like have, because for me, like this nomadic family, whole family moving kind of thing, that blows my mind, right? So now when you're more independent though now, right? You're like a 22-year-old young man and you are kind of you're doing your own journey, right? But do you, are you excited always about the next leg, or is it scary for you? Like, I'm going to go live in Texas now and be with the B team. Now I'm going to go and live in Bali. Now I'm going to go, like, do you have this feeling of like, I'm unsettled, or do you have a feeling like I'm completely settled wherever I am? Like, what's life like for you from that perspective?
I've actually had that question asked a lot, like how do you travel and be comfortable so much? And I think it's just because I've done it my whole life that I'm just used to it and it's normal for me. And they're just like, oh, I could never do that. Like, I need a place of comfort, like my own bed. But I don't know, I've always slept on either couches or like a bed on the floor, or I'm just very used to like quickly changing where I'm living.
Yeah, awesome. So it's exciting for you. You enjoy it?
I enjoy it.
It's just life, yeah.
When I asked you to come on, Kai, and I asked your friend Lisa Boyd as well, just for any info I could get about you. She said that you left your suitcase at her place 3 years ago. She wanted me to ask you if you're ever coming back to get it. And when she opened it up, the contents were wrestling boots, a leather jacket, and a blender.
We should have done a guess what's in Kai's suitcase game, actually, Kim. You just let the cat out of the bag.
I just ruined the game.
We could have put up a bunch of random items on the screen and then let people choose. Or even Kai.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I mean, but that sort of, I guess maybe that sums you up, yeah. So you sound like you're very capable, of living out of a suitcase, and they're the sort of things. So you're going to training, and then you're going to go out on the town, and you've got your food sorted as well. So
you've got his smoothies, and he's ready for dancing with his wrestling boots at any time.
Yeah, training first and then dancing later. Yeah.
What do you do for social life, man? Are you a party boy, or do you like? Is it all about training?
Usually all about training. I don't really like to party much. I don't know, a bit bored of that lifestyle. But I usually just it's usually either training or going to the gym with my friends, or just spending the day with my missus usually.
Yeah, awesome. Lisa also told me you accompanied Jeremy on a trip to Europe to keep him company, but you slept through the whole road trip.
Slept through the whole 16 hours of the road trip.
So, not too much company for poor Jeremy.
You're like,
I'm pretty sure I've got a photo of him driving, and it's just me passed out, like laid back, snoring.
Yeah, it's not as glamorous as people imagine a road trip. Is it like a competing road trip? It's like warts and all, they get you.
So what were you doing in Europe? Or what was Jeremy doing in Europe? Was that recently, or?
That was in 2019, right before the 2019 Worlds. We
okay.
It was me, Jeremy, Adam Jones, Craig Jones, not sure who else, but we were doing Grapple Fest over there.
Oh, yeah.
We were fighting. And that's when Jeremy fought either Cade or Tyratula, I'm pretty sure. I think he ended up getting Das right towards the end there. But the thing with that was like he was sick as soon as we landed. So he was like sick during that fight, and he had like massive staph under his armpit as well.
Yeah, that's the way. Spreading the love. He might have lost the battle, but he won the war because that guy had staph for the next 6 months. So yeah,
that's true. That is definitely true. Yeah, but he also had a final virus against Owner Flanagan, his name's pretty up there now. He's doing really well for himself. Pretty sure he just fought Hunter Colvin last weekend on that as well and won. But yeah.
Wow.
What
So
about your game, man?
yeah,
What's the things that you're like, A, what is your style, but B, what is the next thing that you're putting into your game that you can see like is an area that for development for you?
Well, my main game is doing a lot of wrestling and guard passing now, but I'm trying to work a lot of just my attacking from top pins like mount, north, south, and side control because I just find once I get that guard pass, I just struggle doing like getting to the next step.
Mhm.
And then I feel like my back control is pretty good as well. So I'm just trying to focus on my top pins area for now.
Yeah, cool, man.
yeah.
Awesome.
And what's next for you? So you're obviously preparing for the ADCC trials later this year. Are you heading to No Gear Worlds again, or what's the plan?
I think I'm not too sure on that one because they're a bit too close to each other. And I don't know, because the second time I went to America last year, I got put into like this secondary investigation room where they held me for like 4 or 5 hours. So
Whoa.
I had no phone, I had no food, and yeah, like why are you here?
Oh,
We think are you working and stuff. So
on
it
what
might not be.
basis did they put you in there? Just random, or?
I think they thought I was working or something because they said, "Oh, we've got evidence of you working." I'm like, "How? I didn't even work at all."
Yeah. Okay. So that sort of has affected your like the vibe for you on going again. You don't want to have that same happen, or?
Yeah, I think they said because I went in, um, I was in there for 2 months, and then I came back for trials, and I was only in Australia for a month, and then I went back.
Uh,
Apparently, you have to stay away as long as you were in America as well.
okay.
Which is weird because the visa I have there is for like 6 months, so I didn't think it would matter.
Yeah. Okay. So you may not be able to make it back to the 2023 No Gear Worlds, you're saying?
Possibly.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I was hoping
Yeah.
to get a run at that again, but yeah.
Yeah. But
How
you
do you deal
still
with that?
all
Like, what do you do as far as keeping yourself like when you're on the roller coaster? From a mindset perspective, what do you tell yourself? Like, what do you kind of what does your inner dialogue say that's kind of that you don't like hearing, and then how do you get around that? Like, what do you tell yourself over the top of that?
It's usually my dad. He'll give me a call before the fight and just tell me to go out and give it my all.
Mhm.
And yeah, usually I'll get a good results after that. But yeah, usually my dad's my motivation, or I'll just watch like motivational videos, or sometimes I'll watch anime as well, like epic anime fights.
oh
Cool.
wow.
You're
Cool.
like the Benson
That's cool.
Henderson or the Adesanya of the BJJ world, man.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Uh,
gets me hyped up for it.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
but you are still all systems go for the ADCC trials, yeah? What are you
Yeah,
hearing
so
anything?
far they are.
Oh, okay.
I will be going to America in July though.
Okay. To train
Yeah,
up
yeah,
with the B team for a bit beforehand.
yeah. Yeah, train there
Yeah.
until trials.
Just putting a bit of
Ah,
you
here
Yeah.
we
up
go.
there on the
Anton's
screen,
got
man,
some
so people
footage
can see.
for
Yeah.
anybody watching.
Yeah, this is just a
Uh,
little bit of YouTube. It's a little bit of B team stuff. This is like 11 months ago, man. So, you
Oh
know,
my god, almost.
that's so you've cut your hair a bit and it looks like you put some more meat on. What's it like rolling with Craig
Craig,
Jones? Talk a bit about that.
oh, it's man, fuck him. Um, it's just can't do anything to him.
Right.
It's like I don't know. It's like you'd have to roll him to like find out like to know what it feels like. It's like you just can't do anything.
Yeah. So when you can't do
yeah.
anything, what do you do? Do you just keep trying? Is that what you do? Is that like, I mean, I've experienced that, I guess, quite often, but there's always this sense that I can do something. But when there's someone you just can't do anything to, what do you like if your spirit's broken from the second that you start with this dude? What do you do? Are you looking for him to make a mistake? What's going on?
Usually, yeah, you try to, and like you really got to capitalize on like a mistake that he's made. I think one time I got close to taking his back, but that was just like purely flexible bullshit from me, though. Thankfully,
And is it
but
like that with everyone there? Because like so then you've got Craig, but then you'll go and roll with the next person and the next person. So do you come away kind of feeling pretty defeated, or do you come away feeling like, oh, I feel all right, like I can almost hang with some of these guys, like who are almost the best in the world? Like,
it's only really Craig, to be honest. The others, like, I get really good rounds with, and like, it's not like I can't do anything to those
yeah,
guys, because that's kind of what Craig does to those guys as well. Sometimes
yeah,
it's kind of fun to watch though.
okay,
But
yeah,
yeah,
Actually, and this could be a little bit controversial, this question, so I'm not sure if I should even ask it, but the B team used to be something that, like, there was at least a view that you had to be elite to go train there, right? You just had to be, it was like invitation only. Now the B team are promoting anyone can come, everyone's welcome, which I do like as well, right? Because if you want to get exposure to that, that's great. But what does that have a different impact on the club culture? Has that improved the club culture? Has it been something, you know, would you have done the same thing if B team was your crew?
yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. I think the new classes that they've introduced are probably a bit more like structured for beginners as well, which I definitely think a gym needs to have, because they do get like people just walking in, and they weren't really question what belt they are. And I rolled with one white belt there, and he asked me what's the difference between a rear naked choke and Ezekiel. And I was like, I thought white belts couldn't come here. And he was like, oh, he's like, what's so good about this gym? And I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
yeah. Anton, you know the difference, don't you, between those
Oh,
two?
I do. Ezekiel's one of my favorites. I love the Ezekiel. It's a good joke. I can never get it, but I really love it in principle. I just rear naked chokes I do get.
Yeah.
It feels like my sleeves are actually Ezekiel's in no-gi. That's a whole new world, you know, to me. Like I've caught one of them in my the person needs a really thin neck for me to get an Ezekiel on them.
Yeah.
Do you ever train in the gi kai or just purely no-gi?
I was helping Adele get ready for Worlds like this past month.
Yep.
So that's like the first time I've chucked the gi on for a while. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Well, you failed,
So
man. She didn't win. So come on, what kind of
Ah,
coach?
man, she did pretty well. She did
She
pretty
did.
well.
She's a
Yeah,
beast. We love Adele. Oh, we just love her to bits. Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. No,
She-
she nearly won Brasileiros. Was prior to Brasileiros, or was that in between that you were training with her, Kai?
I
In
think that was
between Brasileiros and Worlds.
I think it was prior to me training with her, I think. I can't actually remember, yeah.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah.
if anyone doesn't know, she got pretty close to beating Mesa Bastos at Brasileiros. I think only in the last 10 seconds or so that she didn't make it there, but that would have been a huge upset because I don't think any gringos have ever won Brasileiros at black belt anyway. Like that's pretty amazing. Yeah.
I think there's actually ever been a gi Australian winner as well at Worlds.
No. Yeah,
Not
that's
that
right.
female division at least.
Yeah. Oh, well, Nico Maklachek won. I guess we can still claim him as an Aussie, even though he's sort of living over there.
Yeah,
So,
true. I was thinking like more females in the female division, I think.
yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah. So what's a typical training like week look like for you? Especially like in the lead up to a big comp.
If I'm usually at B team, they have like 3 classes I'll usually go through.
A day?
Sorry?
3 classes a day?
Yeah, but not intense training though. I only do like one intense session in the day, and the other 2 is just like purely like drilling and just working stuff out usually. But yeah, I'll do the morning session is just like drilling, just working new stuff out. 12 o'clock session is when like all the really good guys come, so that's when I'll get my hard rounds in. Definitely try and avoid Nicky Rod again, as always. And then the last session is just working on like what I failed to do in the afternoon class.
Wow. That's a really cool structure, man. That's
every day. How many days a week would you do that?
That would be just Monday to Friday, and then Saturday there's only one class. Okay. So yeah, I take it chill pretty during the weekends.
And that's it. Nothing else outside of jiu-jitsu? Do you lift? Do you swim? Like surfing? Anything else?
There's like a really nice rock climbing gym near B team as well. So in my free time, I'll just go to that if I want, because it's pretty fun doing rock climbing as well. I find it's been really helped my grip. Like when I've like 2 months into it, I just found people can't get away from my grip.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
16 classes a year, people. That's like I'm proud of myself for 6 a week.
Not a year, a week, Anton. Maybe some of our listeners are doing 16 classes a year. 16 classes a week, you mean?
Yeah, 16. Did I not say a week?
said a
Sorry, I
year.
meant a week. 16 classes a week is crazy. Like, that's amazing. And I'm proud of myself for 6 classes a week. But yeah, this is next level.
Hey,
Like,
sometimes I'm doing 3 classes a week. I think that's like achievable too. Like 1 hard session and then 2 not so hard.
Yeah.
That's still good, yeah.
yeah. And no
That's
wonder that's what it takes to be at your level. And you're still getting silvers, you know. so
I know. Because no one's working for silver, so
the people you're losing to are doing more than 16 classes a week, because there's obviously nothing wrong with you and nothing wrong with your approach. So they're just doing more work, you know. It's got to be that. Yeah. Wow.
But like Craig said, no one's working for silver.
Well, maybe it's because your NutriBullet is over at Lisa's house and you haven't had a good smoothie in a while.
That's right.
And I don't have my wrestling shoes as well.
Yeah.
It's all Lisa's fault. She should have posted them to you.
Lisa, yeah.
Are you coming back to Melbourne soon? Maybe you'll be able to get them back off her.
I'm not too sure yet. It's just very cold in Melbourne right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, man, I beg to differ. Like, this is outside my window right now. It's a beautiful day in Melbourne. I don't know if you can see that. But
yeah, but it's still 12 degrees, Anton.
Okay,
Come on.
okay. You didn't have to tell him that.
Sorry. Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
New Zealand in July, like right before America as well.
Yeah. Are you from New Zealand originally, or where are you from originally?
I'm from the North Island, place called Tauranga.
Okay. So wow, another add to the travels. Like, so you've lived in how many countries since you were born? Like 6 countries or something already, yeah? Wow.
Yeah, I can't even count anymore.
No, so
So
really
cool.
Definitely like a citizen of the world. And you've been to Europe as well. So
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
been everywhere almost.
Does your girlfriend go with you? Because you said you've got a girlfriend, right?
Yeah, she'll make it if she can, but she's going to the UK in July, so I'm not sure if she will be able to come this time.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you support yourself while you're over there, Kai? Do you work as well, or how do you fund your trips?
Yeah. So while I'm back in Perth, I usually just try and find a week job, like an afternoon job that won't get in the way of my training. So like right now I'm just doing this work from like 1 to 11, like usually like Monday to Friday, and then that usually helps me get enough to fly to New Zealand and then do seminars over there as well.
Wow. No, that's great.
Man, I wish I was doing stuff like you when I was 22. That's crazy, man. Like, you're really stacking up those life experience points. That's real cool.
But yeah, my parents support me a lot as well, like when they need.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Wow. That's cool. And another thing Lisa told me as well was that when you guys shared a house together, she asked you for some shaving cream, but you offered her mayonnaise to shave her legs.
I think because I was holding mayonnaise at the point, I was like, "Here, just use this."
She also told us about the horrible noises coming out of it. No, but she didn't really.
See, I get all the dirt on all our guests.
Yeah, you do. This is the most dirt we've ever had on someone for a show, so this is good. Good work, Kim.
Thank you. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Lisa.
We're gonna have to tag Lisa in this show. She's actually been a big part of today's show, so it's like she's by proxy. Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. And does your partner do jiu-jitsu?
She did for a little bit, but she's just too busy like with work now as well.
Mhm.
And she was like busy with college, so it's a bit hard.
Okay. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we'll have to do something about that, won't we now? We can't. Do you think it's compulsory partners should do jiu-jitsu? I do. I think we should I think we should have a rule, you know. But like, yeah, I'm just jealous because I haven't had the proper jiu-jitsu relationship. My girlfriend's a pole dancer, so which is great in its own way. But yeah, I won't get the feeling of like working on a move with her and kind of getting that worked out. But actually, Kim, you don't do that in your house anyway, do you? Even though you live with an engaged
No,
good
no.
jiu-jitsu
I
partner,
think
you
it's
don't
still
work
good to
on
keep
moves.
it a bit separate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No.
we
I
hear that a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
we hear that a lot. So
Yeah.
no, I definitely agree with that as well.
All right.
Yeah.
We're getting close to the end here, Kai. Did you have any final words for our listeners or any parting thoughts? Any words of wisdom?
Um, I can not really. Nah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But if you're in New Zealand, I've got one gym available for a seminar. So
Yeah. We
Which
might have
make
a
sure.
few listeners in New Zealand, so yeah, we will do our best to get that happening. Yeah.
Are you saying you have a seminar already booked in New Zealand, or you're
No,
looking for?
I've got one more spot available.
Ah, okay, cool. All right, well, because this will be out. The problem is we're a bit
Probably
behind
about
the times. When are you going to be in New Zealand? What dates?
July.
Yeah, around like after the 15th of July,
Yep.
is when I'll be there. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, we'll
Awesome.
put it up when we post the actual show. We can do that, but that's probably like 3 weeks away, I think, or something like that, isn't it, Kim? I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we've
So
got a
it
couple
may
banked
not
up
work,
already.
man.
Yeah.
You probably found the spot by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
And what sort of things are you going to be teaching at your seminar?
I usually just leave it to the gyms, like to decide. I'll give them a couple options, like doing like wrestling, passing, and attacking from the back, or like front headlocks. And
Mhm.
they usually just choose. So I'll just teach that, and then I'll like make like a structure of like what I'm going to teach as well.
Yeah. Have you found that helps your jiu-jitsu, like teaching people? Or is it something you just kind of do just to make the money so you can do more jiu-jitsu?
It kind of has to be like selfish teaching in a way, like kind of teaching what I'm trying to figure out as well. I found it just helped me like learn the technique like in a different way, rather
Yeah.
than just watching the instructional going, oh, going to training and just practicing it.
Yep.
That's smart, man.
Yep.
Make it something that everybody wins in the room, including you from. Makes a lot of, and you get
Yeah.
paid for it. Why not? Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Fantastic. Awesome. So yeah, as Anton said, we do have a couple of others episodes banked up already. So we'll have this out in a couple of weeks. If you could share it on your social medias, that would be awesome. So that helps grow our audience. We've got a bit of an audience now and it's slowly getting bigger. Still looking to try and get merchandise out like the stickers, and I think we'll have some rashies hopefully coming out before the end of the year too. Keep an eye out for those.
Yeah,
and all
your
the
episode
best.
171, Kai. No, we're like, we are not mucking around here. We're doing this for a long time.
We're doing this for over 3 years now. So yeah, we're getting there. But yeah, good luck at B team. Good luck for trials. You're definitely a person to watch out for, whichever division you end up going into. And yeah, we'll see you on the mats.
Thank you so much. You guys have a good day.
Bye.
You too. See you, Kai. Bye.
See you.